Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark. Everywhere you go, you hear the name Caitlin Clark. But you know who we haven't heard from in a while? Caitlin Clark. It's funny when somebody is talked about more than maybe anyone else on earth for a few days and they don't speak. Not that I'm not saying anything negative about Caitlin. It's just the way she goes about her business, right? I mean, she has been quiet. She has kept her head down and focused on hoops basically throughout this entire process, even going back to college and all that. I can't remember big bombastic moments of her at the microphone. And Michael Jordan, for instance, was never known for anything he said. It's just ironic that someone can be spoken about so much while speaking so little. But Caitlin Clark did actually speak at the Indiana Fever practice, talked about a few things, including how she is capable of blocking out the noise.
So just in a couple days off, and what does that mean to this team? It's been such a grind.
Yeah, it's been nice. I think just to get our bodies healthy, get back in the gym and work on things that we need to get better at too. I think that's really important, just as important as the rest. Get in here and actually be able to work on things and go hard. We haven't really had an opportunity to do that since our season started. So.
You're used to attention, but it's gone from just attention to hyper, people paying attention to what's going on. How are you dealing with this? Same?
Yeah, same.
Can you block it out?
Absolutely. I don't really hear the noise. I just come here and play basketball every single day, and that's what I focus on. And, this is my job. So everything else, all the external noise, doesn't faze me.
It's very interesting to hear that she can just completely block out the noise, right? That she can go about her business, go about focusing on basketball, and not hear all the crazies, all the yahoos. Like, did she know what Pat McAfee said? Did she know what happened with Stephen A. Smith and Monica McNutt, or what Clay Travis has said, or hell, what I've said? I mean, it's commendable if that is indeed the case. I mean, she looks a little worn down. She looks a little beleaguered. That could be just the schedule as a whole, of course, because she hasn't had really any time off. I mean, to go from playing in college in the national championship game, technically 2 months ago on the dot, right now as I speak, 2 months ago, to having already been drafted to the WNBA and already gone through that gauntlet schedule is pretty amazing. And then to just be discussed as often as she's been discussed. But it's not the noise that she hears. It's actually her brother's video games that she hears more than anything else. Because she did talk about how her little brother is living with her.
A sports fan like yourself might turn on a sports center and stuff like that, but lately it's probably been all of you about you, for example. What do you turn on to turn that off, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I don't watch a ton of Sports Center. I mean, I watch the other WNBA games as much as I can.
Okay.
Movies, random shows, My little brother's living with me, so he plays a lot of video games, so sometimes I get caught watching that. I don't know. Just random stuff,
What did today mean for this team?
So it's just a simple life that Caitlin Clark is living right now. Shout out to the Fieldhouse Files with Scott Agnes for that clip. And you see Kelsey Mitchell appeared up on the screen there. She also had some words in defense of Caitlin Clark. One of the first times I've seen a teammate really come out and speak about Caitlin Clark and everything that's gone on in this young WNBA season and her young career. And really, Kelsey got her back. Like, I've seen some criticism from Clark fans about Kelsey Mitchell and her not passing the ball enough. And look, Kelsey is an ISO scorer, right? And sometimes that happens with that type of player. They don't necessarily have the best vision. Their vision is their eyes are on the bucket, and they're going to go get those buckets. But Mitchell did have her teammates back in talking about what's been going on.
I think she deserves to give herself some grace, and I think a lot of people around this world should too. And I think that at the end of the day, not only is she human, she's a 22-year-old kid technically, and I think that, she's going to transition. There's going to be things that she's just going to experience that comes with time. And I think that the world should give her some grace. I really do. And I think that's our job as a team to make sure that she's covered from the standpoint of feeling mentally and physically safe, obviously, but psychologically, we want her to, at the end of the day, she got to go home and sleep. So that's our deal. We want her to feel at home all the time. I think
So there's got to be some degree of pressure that comes along with this situation, right? Like the team has to feel it, and Caitlin has to hear it to some degree. I mean, she's probably very good at blocking it out. I'm not accusing her of lying, but there's just a level of energy. You know, the amount of times she simply has to talk to the press. Obviously, the players as a whole, some of them are seeing what's been going on. That they just needed that break. The Indiana Fever needed that break. They needed time to cool down. They went for a team dinner. They finally gotten a chance to practice. I said the pressure's on Christy's sides really now. You know, the coach has had a bunch of criticism already come her way. And if they don't improve after this time off with no more schedule excuses and everything like that, people are really going to zero in on her and the job that she's done thus far this year. But I would expect Caitlin to start finding her groove sooner rather than later. Because I mean, not that she hasn't, but really shoot the ball well. Like one of those explosive shooting games. She did talk about having her legs, or the team having their legs. I think you'll see, you know, sometimes you just need to refresh and reset, a bounce of energy and everything. But it's just funny to me. It's amusing to see how low key she can be amidst all this, right? Like, and she is kind of unflappable. She deserves credit for being able to you know, push through all that, and you know, some people might want her to come out and make some sort of public address, but I don't really know about what she would say. You know, she is keeping it focused on the game and pushing ahead. And it's just such a contrast, right? All of the high-pitched screaming and noise and that's been building for days and 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 days. And then Caitlin's like, yeah, I didn't hear it. I was, you know, just we were practicing, and then my brother was playing some video games. You know, I saw her at the game before the Liberty game, signing autographs and everything like that. She seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders. Look, it's not the end of the world either. She's a professional athlete. You got to go through some trials and tribulations, but I do expect the intensity to come down a little bit here. I expect less of the trying to show her up all the time. Like that energy wears down. I think everybody's seen it hit a fever pitch, I guess, pun intended, after what happened with Kennedy Carter. I expect even some of that to simmer down a little bit. And then, you know, with some rest, maybe Caitlin can simmer up and cook out on the court.